Hello. In today's lesson of Western Neo-Aramaic, we will talk about the feminine plural forms. And those are the plurals of nouns that end in tha or cha. Let's begin with the word shameltha. Shameltha means table. And in plural, we add an O before that tha syllable. So it becomes Schemlotha, Schemlotha. So otha. Schemlotha means tables. Next we have Meliktha or Melichtha, depending on the dialect. So that means queen. So we add an O before it and it becomes Melkutha or Melchutha. After that, we have the word Bisinitha. So we add an O before the tha. Remember, there's a ya sound here, bisinitha. So it becomes bisin yutha. Bisin yutha. That means girls. So yutha. Now, these are the simplest forms of the feminine plural. Now, let's look at words that also end in tha, but that are made of only two syllables. Keep in mind that the tha is one syllable, so you can't have a single syllable of this form. It has to be at least two syllables. So let's look at the word ichtha. Ichtha. Ichtha means wife. So if we're going to follow that same rule, it would be itchutha. Itchutha. However, because it's only two syllables, we elongate it a little bit and it becomes itcha wutha. So there's a wu. Itcha wutha. So the plural of ichtha is itcha wutha. And the same for for nouns that are two syllables and end in tha. Next we have the word hotha, which means sister, hotha. In the plural form, we're going to do something similar to what we did earlier. It will become hotha wotha. So again, a wotha at the end. So hotha wotha. Hotha wotha. So this is really the simplest form for the nouns that end in tha. I'm going to go to the book, Western Neo-Aramaic Dialect of Jubadin, to look at some more examples. We have Baytha, also two syllables. That becomes Bayth Wotha. Bayth Wotha. I also want to correct something here. It's not Hotha Wotha, as I said it. It's Hatha Wotha. Hatha Wotha. Let me correct this. So this should be Hatha Wotha. So let's see one more word. We have the word Kuktha or Chuchtha, depending on the dialect. It becomes Chachwotha. Chachwotha. It's a little bit hard to say. So let me read these last ones one more time. Ichtha becomes Itcha Wotha. Itcha Wotha. Hotha becomes Hatha Wotha. Hatha Wotha. And Beitha becomes Beith Wotha. Beith Wotha. So we shorten it if there's a vowel here. And then instead of just adding Otha, we add Wotha. Wotha. Now let's look at the nouns that end in cha. So if we have nouns that end in cha, again, these will be mostly feminine nouns. We have the noun thanagilcha. Thanagilcha, which means a hen or a chicken. Thanagilcha. So here, we're also going to add an O. However, the cha is going to become a tha. So thanagilcha becomes Thanaglotha. Thanaglotha. Next, we have the word masfarcha. Masfarcha, which means scissors. In the plural, again, this is singular. So in English, it's already a plural, but in Aramaic, it's going to be a singular. Masfarcha. In the plural, it's going to be masfarotha. So the cha became otha. Masfarotha. Next, we have thawrcha. Thawrcha. Thawrcha means cow. Thawra means bull. Thawrcha means cow. In the plural form, here it's going to be a little bit different. So here we are looking at nouns that have the cha syllable, and then a single syllable before it, usually a long vowel syllable. But let's look at thawrcha. We would expect it to be thawrotha. However, in fact, it becomes thawr yotha. So yotha. Thawr yotha. Then we have the word ghurcha. Ghurcha means a hole, so like a hole in the ground. Ghurcha, notice a long syllable followed by cha. Ghurcha becomes ghar. So we shortened it into ghar, and then we add yutha. Ghar yutha. Bufcha, same situation, long syllable followed by cha. We shorten that first one. It becomes bef yotha. Bef yotha. So really, for all feminine nouns, when we want to form the plural form, it has to end in one of three endings. Either otha, which is the most common one, or wotha. So let me write them here. Otha or wotha. And wotha is very specific to nouns that end in tha and are made up of only two syllables. And then we have yotha. And yotha is mostly for nouns that end in cha, preceded by a single long syllable. So otha, wotha, or yotha. And with practice, it becomes easy to hear it when you're saying it correctly or not. And I will stop here.